my deep gratitude to the group, to the personalities, and the meritorious coordinators. My Suprabhata Vandanam and a very, very good morning to you all. I feel so happy now that the politeness and the great will shown in explaining my background. And I always used to say, don't tell too much so that it may automatically end in boring. Now, I would just like introduce a subject which is so vast, and it takes hours together to explain word by word. In fact, my Doctor of Literature, DLit, that is for the Indian scientific heritage, a very big thesis work. Very luckily, I could do it, and I was really analyzed by about 11 dozen meritorious scientists in different institutes before awarding the first Doctor of Literature to a scientist after independence directly by UGC through National Samskrita University, Tirupati. And always I used to say, right from 1990 onwards, I think perhaps during the period of Sri Narasimha Rao, Prime Minister of India, we can see liberalization, privatization, globalization taking place. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization makes the world think about knowledge wheresoever they are available. Collecting the information, converting the information into knowledge, converting the knowledge into wisdom, converting the wisdom into experience, and implementing those knowledge in the life as practice. So you may be knowing that when I stretch my hand to either side, we have got 180 degree in front of us. 180 degree in front of us is the contribution of the modern science for the last 200 years. The contribution of modern science for 200 or 300 years. Whereas when you stretch your hand, there is a 180 degree behind you also. That 180 degrees is the contribution of 110 civilizations existed on the surface of the globe Earth for the last 10 millennia, more or less than that. So we can see that there is about 110 civilizations. Small, big, huge, and so on. And remember that almost all those civilizations got wiped out from the surface of the globe Earth, and only Indian culture, Indian civilization remain intact. And people are looking into it. So liberalization, privatization, and globalization ended up in searching for the old knowledge, and adding those knowledge into the modern knowledge, and taking all the good from the modern knowledge, mixing the good modern knowledge with the good ancient knowledge also, wheresoever from they are collected. So in India, we have got in almost every branch of science except electronics, we had the knowledge, and those knowledge, they are being brought out by different universities, different colleges, different institutions, different charitable trusts, different movements, and different institutions. And not only that, they are being brought out for the welfare of the human being, and also to inform the world that we have got knowledge, fantastic knowledge in India, which can be subjected, if needed, to refinement, through addition, deletion, modification, and correction if needed. Addition, deletion, modification, and correction make it useful for the pupil 750 crore people living anywhere in the world, independent of their caste, religion, lenience, or anything. Knowledge is knowledge. It can be utilized for useful, purposeful, fruitful, and meaningful life. Useful, purposeful, fruitful, and meaningful life. So, as we Indians, when we look into our heritage, and that too during the 21st century, what is the purpose, what is the use, and what should be the ultimate goal of our learning the Indian heritage? I will definitely say that three simple as well as complicated, in-depth purposes we can see when we learn our heritage. This heritage belongs to all 138 crore people, whether he is a leftist, rightist, or wrongly telling Middle Eastern. Whether he is Hindu, Christian, or Muslim, this knowledge belongs to each and every one of the Indians. And when we learn our heritage, when we understand our heritage, when we study our heritage, and when we teach our heritage to whomsoever sitting in front of us or listening through social media, we can say that a sense of pride will be created. I feel that I am proud of being an Indian. And I feel that my forefathers were not merely superstitious people. They have learned, they have produced a variety of knowledge, so I am proud of my forefathers and my country and my culture. That is the first thing, creating a sense of pride in the mind of every Indians by putting forth the truth, fact, and a sense of our heritage. And the second thing, informing the world. Many of the discoveries and many of the inventions now being claimed by the foreign scientists, those informations, those knowledge, those discoveries were really existed in India and they are available in printed books. Majority of those knowledge existed in Sanskrit language. Of course, not in Vedas or Puranas. Independent Sanskrit scientific and technological book available in tens of thousands in variety of libraries. So, learning our heritage and informing the world that our knowledge, say for example, sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, discovered far before Sir Isaac Newton, Laplace, Euler, Kelvin, and it is mentioned, Chabacha tattat phaladovi tadvat chabahatat vyadhihatatri maurya labdhani yubmani balani adodas chabada yubmani tavistarardhat vinyasya choban yubanitya jed tachesho bhuja kodi gunaupaveda. Bhuja means half sin theta, kodi means half cos theta. Divide it, you will get tan theta. So like that, this information existed 150 years prior to Sir Isaac Newton in the book written in Kannada Paddhati 1448 by Pudumana Somayaji, 1448. So that knowledge existed in India. Not one or two, so many. Falsely we used to say that one Indians discovered zero. Some people say our discovery is zero. That zero means nothing. Or zero, that digital value also. Not merely zero. Not merely Pythagoras theorem. Of course, Pythagoras theorem written by Baudhayana in Baudhayana Sulpa Sutra. Dirgha Chadurasrasya Kshanaya Ridyuhu Parshomani Tidyanmani Cha Yat Pradak Bhode Kurutastat Ubayam Karutu. So remember, we have that Pythagoras theorem, but far higher than that. In every branch of knowledge, I repeat the word, every branch of knowledge, our contributions we have to learn and we have to inform the world that our forefathers had the knowledge about all these things. It is not for denigrating others or belittling others or for making fun of others, but the people, the most ancient culture of the world, civilization of the world, existing according to archaeological evidence from BC 8275. BC 8275 is the oldest artifact, brass, bronze, copper, in reasonably pure form. Brass will never exist in nature as natural product. It should be created by some people. Bronze and pure copper will never be available. So pure copper, pure bronze, pure brass. During excavation from 1,100 archaeological sites show that our technology, our heritage starts right from BC 8275 plus AD 2000, approximately 10,000 years. So 500 generation. And this knowledge, we have to inform the world that our contribution is not merely zero or Pythagoras theorem, but it is solid science. That is the first for creating a sense of pride in the mind of the people who are reading, teaching about it. Second, informing the world, so that when I was fortunate enough to deliver a lecture in Cambridge University and also to the students of Oxford University in London, and the mathematics professor who was sitting for listening my lecture said, first time you are giving me a book with all the historical evidence and the date of writing of those books and with a solid proof. Definitely, I assure you, Dr. Gopal, I will inform this to my students. Cambridge University professor was telling that. And in Oxford University, so many students were telling that we were ignorant about all these things. Who will teach us? People are teaching us that everything came from, started their flow from Greek civilization. Nobody used to tell anything about Indian culture, Indian civilization, which contributed so much in scientific and technological field. And the third thing is that world over, as I told you, from liberalization, privatization, and globalization, the world over, intellectuals, scientists, and thinkers are looking for knowledge. They are searching for knowledge, whatsoever may be the knowledge. Whether it is spiritual knowledge, psychological knowledge, metallurgical knowledge, or biochemical knowledge, or chemistry, or physics, or philosophy, whatsoever may be the subject, we can see, we can say that they are all searching for the knowledge. They are ready to take the information, as I told earlier. They are ready to take the information and they are ready to convert the information into knowledge. And they are ready to refine the knowledge and make it wisdom. And they are ready to convert the wisdom into experience of the people world over. Not only yoga or Ayurveda or Sanskrit language or our darshanas or our food science or something like that. Far more than that. Far more than that, including the Delhi Iron Pillar or Dhar Iron Pillar. They are ready to search into really the saris, Kanchipuram saris, Banaras Masuri. They are searching for the technology utilized in making Kanchipuram sari right from 600 BC, exported to Mesopotamia, Babylonia, Greek, Rome, and so on. So they are ready to search for the knowledge. If we inform them that we have got these things, they are ready to take. And I was so fortunate enough to go to different US universities and UK universities. Of course, I was there for 1 year in University of Alberta and University of British Columbia and Technological University of Nova Scotia, Halifax. There, people are so much interested in listening to the Indian heritage knowledge connected with the science and technology. They are so much interested. They know that they know nothing about India, but they know that they should know about India. These are the two things. They know pretty well that they don't know anything about India, but they know that they should know about India. So under such a situation, every subject, whether it is crude subject or primitive subject, whatsoever may be that, if we can get an idea about that, and then go on doing research and convert them into an excellent product or process and submit it to the world, they may take it. They are ready to do addition, deletion, modification, and correction. In fact, one of my subjects is pharmaceutical chemistry. And you can see that the medicines used in 1950s That's nearly 70 years ago. Almost all those medicines got disappeared from the medical shop, and entirely new medicines are coming, because even the pharmaceutical chemistry people are doing addition, modification, and correction, and improvement are being done. Like that, if India can give the idea on our heritage knowledge to the world, people are ready. People are ready, independent of their religion, independent of their country of origin, independent of their thoughts. They are ready to accept it for the modern period of 21st century. Just like Swami Vivekananda said when he was delivering a lecture in Michigan University, Ann Arbor, some people asked Swami Vivekananda, why did you come here with all your black magic, your mantras, spirituality, and so on, crude philosophy and religion? Why did you come over to this country? Our country, our America is scientific and technological country. We don't need your black magic and mantras and so on. Swami Vivekananda gave a reply to the press people in Ann Arbor, saying that, my dear friends, 20th century belongs to you Americans, whereas 21st century belongs to we Indians. That he said nearly 135 years back, 130 years ago. 20th century belongs to you Americans, whereas 21st century belongs to we Indians. These are the words of Swami Vivekananda told to the American press people in Michigan University, where I was also fortunate enough to stay for about 1 month and deliver classes for the social works department. So what I wanted to say, when we are going to the heritage, it does not mean that when we are going to the superstitious old days, we are not going to the lower level of our knowledge. We are not degrading, denigrating, belittling, or going back and looking back. But just like when we are playing the cricket, naturally the bowler is expected to run from a long distance and then only throw the ball. Then only bowling is done. We are going back to go forward, to march forward, take the inspiration, create the sense of pride, and also utilize every bit of knowledge in our heritage. Now, the second part I am entering, and where to search the knowledge, and what are the knowledge available here. I am sure that nowadays, due to this corona and other thing, my traveling has almost come to an end. Always social media. I am delivering lecture, and everywhere I used to say that searching for Indian heritage knowledge should not be done blindly. Blindly it should not be done. Then how to do? You have got mathematics, modern mathematics, astronomy, biochemistry, chemistry, physics, environmental science, and textile science and technology, metallurgical science, alloy-based science, and civil engineering science, granite carving, and variety of pots, vessel making. Like this, from ores to minerals to metals, and metals to alloys, metallurgical science, environmental science, biotechnology, fermentation, microbiology. You put 1, 2, 3 with an open mind. Don't think, don't have a biased feeling that in India we know what we have got, where nothing is there. You are trying to convert it into science and technology. Don't fool the people. We know nothing existed here. Wrong impression. And if you have got that impression, you are free to keep that impression. I don't have any problem. I am just telling you that such an impression, keep it away. Keep the mind open. What are the chemistry-based knowledge existed in India? Then just to go to nearly 1,000 Sanskrit-based literature on Rasa Vijnana, Rasa Chandrika, Rasa Chudamani, Rasa Ratnagara, Rasa Ratna Samuchaya. Rasa Ratnagara, 7 books are there, written by different authors. Rasa Ratna Samuchaya, 5 books are there. And all these books are with me also. So proudly I say, it is not what I read from a magazine, a weekly or monthly. These books are with me, not all the 1,000, nearly 1 dozen books are there with me, in which 9th century AD, Dasaratna Samuchaya, written by Nagarjuna 1100 years ago. It is giving marvelously the explanation of Rasashala, a laboratory, how it should be there. It's available in Sanskrit with the Hindi translation. So you go through the material research Shastra, and systematically learn how iron compounds, copper compounds, zinc compounds, tin compounds, and variety of medicinal preparation where different processing are subjected like chemistry. But they were ignorant about the molecules. They could not see, even though they used to say, Apakarsha Paryandam Drivyam Paramanurevam. Apakarsha Paryandam Drivyam Paramanurevam. Inferior most particle of a matter is known as Paramanu atom. Paramanu iti prokta jnaninam drishtigochara. Only the people who have got a thorough understanding about the atomic science, scientists, they only can understand what is meant by, Paramanu. So this is a definition given nearly 1,500 years ago in our chemistry books. And all these alloys were made here. And remember a small thing, in Athens, there's a sheet of zinc, pure zinc, could be excavated, and that zinc was produced, INC, zinc was produced in 600 BC, and the top of which it is written in Sanskrit, Takshashila. In Athens, it is excavated. You can get the reference of this. It's available in a fantastic book, Minerals and Metals of Ancient India, by Dr. A.K. Biswas and B.K. Biswas, published very nicely. So, Minerals and Metals of Ancient India. Nearly 10,000 references are given in that. And that was solid scientific research done in American, English, and Indian universities. American written, there it is written, this with the Takshashila zinc. So remember that zinc was not known to the modern Europeans up to 17th century. But 6th century BC, the zinc sheet available written Takshashila could be excavated. And to the sad part of it, when Socrates was asked a question, what is your last vision before drinking hemlock poison? What is your last vision? Would you like to discuss with your wife? Would you like to meet your children? Would you like to spend lavishly one day like that? Last wish before giving the hemlock poison. What he said, I don't want to see my weeping wife or crying children and everything. Your only last wish is that you give me the poison in an Indian-made Suvarnakara pot, brass vessel made in India. This is what Socrates said. The brass vessel made in India, you should give me the poison in that Indian vessel. Whatever may be the way you want to interpret it, it is your freedom. So the brass vessels were available in Greek during the period of Socrates and made from India, exported to those places available. So those alloys, all these are given in this chemistry book. Plus, remember that, and whenever this Ayurvedic processing of the medicines were done, and whenever these metallurgical processing were done, remember that the heat or the temperature to be expected used for making these metallic alloys and purification of heat, for which Musha, the real kiln and also the real furnaces were made. And a systematic study has been done and published in Indian Journal of the History of Research, IJHS, Bahadur Shah Safar Marga. It's by Indian National Science Academy, INSA. Indian National Science Academy has published that varieties of Musha kiln or furnace existed in India for processing different chemical products, including the compounds, mixtures like that. So the scientific thing you can get from chemistry. If you are searching knowledge on chemistry, it will be an indefinite process because so much books are available, knowledgeable pupils still are available, and if you search, you will get. And generally, when you are going to physics, VG Taranganyayena Shabda Ulpati, about sound, variety of mention you can see in Sangeeta Ratnakara and in Darshanas. Nyaya Shastra explains to you the sound propagate as waves. Nyaya Shastra written 300 BC, 2300 years ago. It is written, and remember that, mention Viji Taranga Nyayena Shabda Ulpatti. The sound produced and propagates as waves, And in the physics, you can see Yendra Sarvaswam. You know, Yendra Sarvaswam is a book. One paragraph, I will explain it. If you go back and search, you can see there existed a fantastic book known as Amshubodhini. It's a very big book. And the complete book, I do not know whether it is available. It may be available in Baroda Saraswati Mahal library or Tanjavur Saraswati Mahal library, either in Tanjavur or Baroda. There we can see literally Amshubodhini. 140 chapters appears to be there in Amshubodhini, on which one chapter is Yantra Sarvaswam. Again, in Yantra Sarvaswam also 140 chapters happen to be the smaller chapters. And in which 40th chapter is Vimana Shastra. 40th chapter is Vimana Shastra. And Vimana Shastra book, it's translated from Sanskrit to English by ISRO scientist. The Sanskrit book by one Dikshitar handed over his copy in 1925. He wrote it in 1921, handed over to ISRO. ISRO got it translated into English. That Indian Space Research Organization translated version was given to me, one copy, and we published it, Vimana Shastra. We published Indian Institute of Scientific Heritage, we published it in English version. It is very difficult to understand, very complicated, and keeping the mind of the modern planes and flights and other things, thinking about and interpreting this Vimana Shastra is impossible. It's impossible. But it starts, Desha Deshandaram Yadad, Loka Lokandaram Tada, Dvipa Dvipamdaram Chaiva, Yo Ambare Gentu Parhati, Savimana Iti Prokta, Gheda Shastra Vidamvaraiti. This is the first line in Vimana Shastra, 40th chapter of Yendra Sarvaswa. What is the meaning of that Desha Deshandaram? From one country to another country, one Desha to another Desha. Loka Lokandaram, one Loka to another Loka. Desha Deshandaram Yaddat Loka Lokandaram Tada Dvipa Dvipamdaram Chaiva, from one island to another island. One island to another. Yo Ambare Gandum Arhati. Ambara means sky. Ambare Gandum Arhati. That is the one which can be, which is flying or traveling through the sky. Sa Vimana iti Prokta. That is known as Vimana. And the name is given Kheda Shastra Vidambaraiti. Those who are expert in space science. Kheda means sky science or space science. And you can see now 16 types of Vimanas are given in that. And the copy of Vimana Shastra is with me. We have printed nearly 1000 copies. So copies are there enough. Now you know the 109th chapter of Yendra Sarvaswa. Dvanta Pramapakam Nama Navottara Shatatmakam Yendram Bharadwajena Dhimata Virajitam. Yendra Sarvaswam is written by Bharadwaja approximately 2300 years ago. Approximately. We do not know exactly. So, Dvanta Pramapakam Nama Navottara Shatatmakam Yendram Bharadwajena Dhimata Virajitam. The genius Bharadwaja has written the 109th equipment known as Dvanta Pramapakam Nama Navottara Yendram. So 32 components are available, and that is in full detail. Professor N.G. Dongre, IIT Delhi, has fabricated that instrument. Now Professor N.G. Dongre is working in Calcutta, Saha Institute of Science and Technology, Saha Institute. And he has made the model and taken 6 patents from that and utilized for measuring visible rays, heat rays, ultraviolet rays, and infrared rays. This is the explanation given in that. I am not giving my own explanation. And that book also we have published. But it's not a book, it's a research article. And that too belongs to Professor N.G. Dongre. So, what we want to say, saying that everything existed in India is the foolishness. Saying that nothing existed in India, that is equally foolishness. Saying that something existed in India, that is also foolishness. Nothing existed, something existed, everything existed. All the 3 words are wrong. But so many things far above nothing, and little below everything, and far away from something. That is, we had enough knowledge in really all these aspects. Spectra, all these you can see, the studies of spectra, studies of light, studies of sound, studies of magnet, really available. Particularly magnet, one full chapter in Rasaratna Samuchaya, it is Kandika Loha, how to make a magnet is written. And so in physics we can see lights. But in mathematics, you see, I said about chemistry, few examples. I gave some examples of physics, and I am giving some examples from, say for example, mathematics. Now you see the greatest drawback. I see the worst drawback, that is the best word. Drawback for the people to understand difficulty in understanding our mathematics is that the Sankhya Sampradayam, the number system used by the great mathematicians and astronomers in India. I think only half a dozen people know. I assure you, half a dozen people know what is meant by Bhaskara number system, what is meant by Aryabhata number system, what is meant by Kadavayadi number system. Sorry to say, including me, I know that. I have written a book on that. Bhaskara number system, so simple. Aryabhata number system, not that simple, but still easy to understand. Kadavayadi number system is really a plain with the mathematical numbers. And all the 3 are used for writing the mathematics in Shloka Rupa, just like hymns, just like poetical style. Without the knowledge of Bhaskara number system, you cannot understand any Grigory's theorem. See, Vyasat Vanasangunita Pradagaptam Tri Sharaswara Grahadi Ayuk Vimula Ganaihi Vyase Trinigne Kramashaha Swamranam Krutu Abhi Padididane Yuhu. James Grigory theorem. Here you know Vyasat Vanasangunita. Diameter is multiplied with the forest. Diameter is multiplied with the Vanam. Vanam means forest. Then 3. Divided with the 3. Shara. Shara is a Sanskrit word. Swara. And Graha. Adi Ayuk Vimula Ganaihi. And Ayuk Vimulaganaihi, you have to divide it with the 3 Shara, Swara, Graha. What is Shara? What is Swara? What is Graha? Unless you know Bhaskara number system, how can you interpret this Grigori theorem? But it is very simple. Why I say simple? Just I will tell you. Eyes, Netram, Nayanam, Srotram, Karnam, Hastam, Karam, Padam, all 2 eyes. So eyes and its synonyms 2 numbers. And ears and its synonym 2 numbers. Hand and its synonym 2 numbers. Leg and its synonym in Sanskrit 2 numbers. Wheresoever you want to use the digit 2, use Nayanam, Netram, Akshi, Srotram, Karnam and Hastam, Padam and so on. And 3 Gunam. Sattva Gunam, Rajo Gunam, Tamo Gunam. So Gunam means 3. Wheresoever you have to use number 3, then Gunam, Rama. Rama means 3. Parashurama, Balarama, Srirama. So Rama means 3. Agni. And synonym of Rama, synonym of Agni, synonym of Guna. Agni means Garhavatya Agni, Ahavaniya Agni, Dakshina Agni in Yagashala. So when you say Anala, Pavaga, Havyavahana, Agni, and then it means 3. For using 3, you have got Rama. For Agni, you have got Guna. Sandhya, Prabhata Sandhya, Madhyana Sandhya, Sayam Sandhya. So Sandhya also means 3. For writing 3, you have got nearly 2 dozen words in Sanskrit. In Bhaskara number system. 4. Vedas. Veda means 4. Samudra, Jaladi, Nadi means 4. Vana, forest also means 4. So remember that. Vyasa, Vana Santulita. Multiply the diameter with the 4. Vana means 4. Then for 4 you have got like this 5. Panja Shara, Panja Indriya, Panja Bhuta, Panja Prana. So Prana, Bhuta, Shara, Ishu, Aro and Bhuta, all these connect with the number 5. 6 Shad Rasa, Shad Ritu, Ritu season, Ritu Rasa 6. Sapta Swara, Swara means 7. And Sapta Rishi, Rishi, Sannyasi, Maharshi, Muni means 7. And Ashtadikka, Dikka means 8. Ashtavasu, Vasu means serpent, that also 8. Nava Rendra, 9 holes are there in human bodies. Nava Graha, Graha means 9. Nava Rendra, Rendra means 9. So like this, when Ka, Ka means space, Shunya. For writing 0, Ambara, Shunya, Gha, and so on. Vanam, Gaganam, all these belongs to 0. Now you see in what Mahayuga, how many days are there? It is written in Bhaskariya number system. 1 Mahayuga, 43 lakh 20,000 years. 43 lakh 20,000 years. Into 165.25. How much? Vyoma Shunya Shara Adri into Rendra Adri Shara Indava. These are the number of days. Who knows these are the number of days? Because Vyoma means 0. Shunya means 0. Right from first place to nth place. First place, then 10th place and 100th place. Vyoma Shunya. Shara means 5. Adri, mountain 7. Vyoma Shunya Shara Adri. Adri, repeat it. 7. Vyoma Shunya Shara Adri Indu 1. Indu means moon. Indu Rendra. Rendra means holes in the body. 9. Vyoma Shunya Shara Adri Indu Rendra. Adri 7 Shara Indavaha. 5 1. So 157 crore 79 lakh and 2025. Something like that will be the number of days. Unless you know Bhaskara number system, 95% of the mathematical heritage of India cannot be understood. Simple way. But nobody is teaching this Bhuta Sankhya or Bhaskara number system. So there you can see, I told you, Vyasat Vanasagudita. Pradakaptam Tri Adi Ayuk Vimula Ganahi Yasetri Kramasa Somrana Katwami Padidirani. This is Kepler's equation and Euler's equation. Vyasam, Vyasad Vanasal Pradakaptam, and so on. You can see that. And Vargair Yujamba, Divina Direge, Vargida, Vargida Yuma Vargai, Vyasam Sharikinam. Vibajan Balam Som Vyased Ridikine Padis Tadasya. This is the Laplace equation. Laplace equation. And like that we have got, I have compiled here 29 theorems. 29 theorems discovered by Indian scientists. Sangamagrama Madhavacharya number 1, Pudumana Somayaji number 2, Shankara Varman number 3, and Achyuta Pisharadi number 4, and other Shankara Tundara, Shankara Narayan. All these books are available today. Don't think that they have all gone. No, they are available. They are available. Unfortunately, we are ignorant about it. And unfortunately, we are ignorant that we are ignorant about. That is the problem. That is about Bhuta Sankhya or Bhaskara. Then again, another number is also there. Kadavayadi number system. I will give you Gopatnaya Vinadama. Using that letters and mixing with the vowels. Whether you mix it with the vowels or without vowels, it will remain intact. What is, Gopatnaya Vinadama? One line. This is the angular velocity of Earth when it revolves around the sun per day. Ga means 3, Pa means 1, 13, Gopa. Nya means 0, Ya means 1, 10. So 13, then 10, Gopa, Nya, Ya, Di, 8, Na, 0, Da, 9, Ma, 5. 59, then 10, then like this, if you are writing, you can see Earth revolves around the sun at a velocity of 59 angular minute, 8 second, 10 decisecond, 13 microsecond. This is Kadavayadi number system. That Karanabadha is the book in which 6th chapter is fully, 2 copies of books are available with me. So remember, whenever I am telling to you, it is not trying to create an artificial, exaggerated information to you. With my 7 postgraduate degree, including BA from Bombay IIT, I should be very careful whenever I am telling anything to you. Whether you believe it or not is different. But solid proof and the books are available with me. And remember, Gopatnaya Vinadama. Aryabhata written, Aryabhatiya written AD 499, March 21st, Sunday at 1 o'clock, 23rd birthday of Aryabhata has written Egona Shtiliptaha Shtavilipta. He has written 59 angular minute, 8 second is the angular velocity when it revolves around the sun. Whereas Pudumana Somayaji in Karanabadhari 1448 written that 59 angular minute, 8 second, 10 decisecond, 13 microsecond is the angular velocity of the Earth when it revolves around the sun per day. When it revolves per day, this is what is happening. So you take mathematics, applied mathematics, astronomy, you can see so many things. And Aryabhata has written the value of pi. See, Chaduradhikam Chamatra Gunam Dvashashtis Tada Sahasranam Ayudadvaya Vishkambasya Asan Avrta Varinaha. And Aryabhatiya, the one book written by Aryabhata 1521 years ago, remember that. First part is only how to write the number, Aryabhatiya number. It's not a Kadavayadi number system. It's not connected to the Bhaskara number system. See, cha means 6. Chi means 600. 6 into 100. You put the cha with the ikaram, vowel. That becomes into 100. Then you put the ukaram, 6 into 10,000. Then add the numbers for getting the total number. Whereas Adavayadi number system, Bhaskara number system, I am not going through that one for a long period, but just to inform you that without having the fundamental knowledge of Indian system, if you enter into any of the subjects, you will not reach anywhere. So our ignorance makes us tell that nothing is studied in India. We are not interested in producing that. We are not interested in going through that one. This is the problem. And whether problem or solution, we need not bother about. Then astronomy, you take spherical nature of Earth. In Bhagavatam, written nearly 400-500 BC, it's written very specifically Bhuvana Kosham and Bhugola Adhyaya. Bhugolam. Golam word is there in Bhagavatam. So spherical shape of Earth is not discovered by Copernicus, Galileo, or Magellan, or Kepler, or anybody. But it is existed in Bhagavatam. Don't worry about Bhagavatam. It is a spiritual book, but we need not take that for the science. But you see, Mrujjala Shigi Payumayo Bhugola Sarvado Gupta. Aryabhata written in 499, as I told you earlier. Nila Bhuvyasaha. The diameter of Earth, 1050 yojana is the Vyasa. And Pranayana iti Kalam Bhubu Brahmayati. The time taken for one breath, is 4 seconds. Per minute you breathe for 16 times. So one breath means 4 seconds. Pranayana iti Kalam Bhubu Brahmayati. The time taken for one breath is 4 seconds. The time taken for revolving the earth, that whatever rotation, self-rotation of the earth for 1 angular minute is 4 seconds. In 4 seconds, Pranayana Kala means angular minute. 1 angular minute is the velocity of the earth's revolution, earth's rotation, self-rotation. Bha apakramo grahamsha. 24 degrees the declination of the earth. 24 degrees the declination of earth. The Akshamsha and the Vegamsha should isolate. Up to 1820 AD, it appears. Majority of the people in the world accepted the Greenwich Day Line in India. Greenwich Day Line happened to be in India up to 1820. Later on, it went to Greenwich Line. What is the explanation? You know, Lengaya ekam shankukilam pratishtapya. You just fix a stick in Lenga. Ekam sutram badva. Tie it with a thread. Sutragram anyat merorupari badva. The other end of the thread you tie in Arctic Ocean. So Lengayam ekam shankukilam pratishtapya. Ekam sutram badva. Sutragram anyat merorupari badva. Yat rekha drishyate. Whatever is the line that you are seeing, tat rekha deshandara vidayini. That is the international line of the day line. And that too, Lenga, Vatsyapuri, Himalaya, Avanti, Suralaya, Devalayan, Abhagashya, Sthitareka. All the cities coming in this line, also Bhaskaracharya has mentioned in 628 AD. 628 AD in Laghu Bhaskariyam and also Mahabhaskariyam. Bhaskaracharya too has written Siddhanta Shiromani and also Indavati. In Siddhanta Shiromani, 6th chapter, 22nd line, that is in Bhaskaracharya too has written that Akrishti Shaktischa Mahidaya Yat Gastam Dusabhyungam Shashakya Akrishte Tatpadati Divati Same Samantatvapatyayam. The meaning, any Indian can, if you are searching the word by word meaning, you will get that one. Akrishti Shaktischa, with the force attracting, Mahi Earth. Earth is attracting with the force, Gastam, coming space. In the sky, Guru, solid materials. Swa abhimugam swashaktiya akrishyate. Earth attracts the solid materials in the sky towards itself with its own force. Yet akrishyate, whatever is getting attracted, tat padati, that falls down. Yet akrishyate tat padati. Same samantatva padatyayam. The celestial bodies which are attracting each other, where shall they fall? Ko padati ayam J. J means celestial bodies. They are attracting each other. Where shall they fall? They will not fall anywhere. So, such a way, the gravitational force 1148, 1148 AD, Bhaskaracharya has written in Siddhanta Shiromani, 22nd chapter, 6th chapter, 22nd line. So, that book is also, Siddhanta Shiromani is with me. When I am telling that it is with me, I am not saying something great. I am just with the proof, solid proof from the book what I possess, I am telling it to you. Only for just informing that I am telling that that particular book is with me. So the quadratic equation, Leelavati is full of quadratic equation. So many quadratic equations. And we may not be in a position to think how much mathematics is there in Leelavati, how much astronomy is there in Vateshwara Siddhanta. Vateshwara Siddhanta. Purely applied mathematics. I would like to say one simple incident. Simple incident. You know, one of the very famous old deemed university type of academic institute in Trivandrum. I'm not naming that. A very, very old university belonging to the state group. That university has got that deemed institute, self-financing, deemed university type of that college has got mathematics research facility, chemistry research facility, physics research facilities, even though not with ultra modern, but still the mathematics professors who are working there came to me and asked they would like to do research on ancient Indian mathematics and astronomy. Have you got any book? I said I have got the English version and also Sanskrit version of Vateshwara Siddhanta, very big book published by Indian National Science Academy in 1950s. They have published it. Very big book. Sanskrit version is the first volume and the English translation is the second volume. And Vateshwara Siddhanta written 748 AD. 748 AD. I shall give it to you. You see whether you can do PhD work in this book. But condition is that after just 1 month you have to return this book to me. You can purchase your own book from Indian National Science Academy, Bahadur Shah Sabarmat in New Delhi too. Then they took it exactly first month over. They gave these two books back to me and said, we cannot do research on this book because we are not in a position to understand anything. We are not in a position to understand anything, even when it is fully translated to English. Remember that. Even when it is fully translated to English. So Sanskrit version one cannot understand, we can understand that very well. Because Sanskrit is a little complicated for a common mathematical professor. It is impossible for them to understand the Sanskrit version. But second volume is full translation. So remember that. This is what we have to see. This is our mathematical heritage. Remember, without Aryabhata number system, without Kadabayadi number system, without Bhaskara number system, and ordinary Sanskrit number system, it is not that complicated. Just like modern number system. You cannot, we cannot, anyone can never understand anything about the contribution of ancient Indian scientists, ancient Indian mathematicians and astronomers. That is the thing. And they are very frequently utilizing it for making the stanzas. Everywhere this stanza is needed. No? Writing in poetic style is needed. You cannot have always one word. So dozens of number words are available. That is the speciality. Now you see, just to see, I am going to enter something biotechnology. You know, again, 500 BC or far before that, Sushruta Samhita, Charaka Samhita, after that, Akbada's Ashtanga Sangraha, Ashtanga Hridaya, and Sahasra Yoga. And right from Sushruta Samhita, Ashokarishtam, Dhanvantarishtam, Drakshārishtam, and nearly 51 type of aristas and asavas used to be prepared in India. Even in any Ayurvedic shop, you can get these aristas, Dhanvantarishta, Dasamoolarishta, Ashokarishta, Draksharishta, Padolarishta, so many aristas and asavas. How these aristas are prepared, you know, exclusively through fermentation technology. And anywhere, as a biochemistry, I can very well understand anywhere there is a change in the microorganism used for fermentation, any change in the yeast or any contamination with the bacteria or virus or something else, other microorganism, that particular aristam or asavam will become definitely a poisonous drink instead of a medicine. But how wonderfully they could make for the last 25 centuries. Even today you go to any Ayurvedic medical shop, you can get the Dasamoolarishtam, Dhanvantarishtam, Drakshārishtam, Veeragarishtam, every aristam you will get, produced by the modern Ayurvedic GMP. GMP means good manufacturing practice. Good manufacturing practice. And our grandmas and our mother, they used to prepare the pickles, variety of pickles in Kerala. Variety of pickles. In Gujarat, they used to put sugar also. But still it will not ferment. You just think about it. Without fermenting, without spoiling, without microbial pollution, they could preserve it. Remember, sodium benzoate was not available during that. Potassium benzoate was not available during that period. And sodium benzoate, potassium metabisulfite, AMS. Potassium metabisulfite was not available during that period. Tertiary butyl hydroxyphenylene, TBHQ, was not available during that period. These are all the modern contributions for preservative. But without any preservative, our forefathers and our grandmothers would make pickles and would store these products for months together. They knew their knowledge on preserving the product, which can easily get polluted. With the microorganism, they could make it without pollution. Remember our microbiology. If you are going through Chanakya's Arthashastra, it's 5 type of liquor productions are given in detail. Industrial production of the liquor. In Chanakya's period, if you are watching that Chanakya serial, you can see liquor shops so profusely distributed everywhere and people drinking. That is 23 centuries ago. That quantity and quality, not even a single person died. If it is polluted, die. There is no doubt about it. Instead of alcohol, ketones and aldehydes will be produced. So the people, if they are drinking ketones and aldehydes, they will die. There is no doubt about it. But no death on liquor drinking polluted. Spurious liquor was there during that period. So they made the liquor so and made available for the public during the evening and for drinking and enjoying the life. Whether good or bad, I am not commenting about it. But remember that this fermentation technology for preserving the pickles, for preserving the sweets, and for preserving the drinks and making the drinks and making the medicines existed in India. It's not a joke. If you are reading that with an open mind, the same technology is used even now. Same technology existed here 25 centuries ago. Technologies are being used here even now. And like that, you can see any Ayurvedic medicine. How many plants are being explained, the processing. Aksharam nasti, nasti moolam anaushadam ayodhya puriti yogena tatra durbha. They know that every root, every leaf, and every stem, every bark, and every flower, and every seed, and every fruit has got medicinal quality. They did Sakshat Anubhava Krishna. From their experience, they could see that. Sakshat Anubhava Drishto, na Shruto, na Guvidarshita. It's not what they heard from somebody and not merely some gurus told you. And it is Sakshat Anubhava Drishto. It is from their first hand knowledge. And Lokanam Upakaraya Ekam Sambhav Pradarsitam. All these knowledge are demonstrated for the betterment, for the benefit of the people. For the benefit of the people. And you know, Pratyaksham Pramanam, seeing is believing. Pratyaksham Pramanam, seeing is believing. Aptavakyam Pramanam, opinion of the scholars and the emeritus scholars, the second choice. Shastra Pramanam, scientific observation is the third choice. Anumanam Pramanam, guessing and estimating based on data is the fourth Pramanam. So, Pratyaksham Pramanam, seeing is believing. Aptavakyam Pramanam, the opinion of the great scholars, and Anumanam Pramanam is guessing and estimating. Shastram Pramanam, scientific observations were made there. And you just see, coming to another subject, Delhi Iron Pillar. 7 ton weighing, 21 feet height, iron pillar without rusting, in spite of Mathura refinery, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide exposed to rain, sun and winter, it is not rusting. And remember that this iron pillar, you know, it is not single pillar. 30 pound of the cylindrical thing got forge welded at 1050 degrees centigrade. Forge welding technique done during 50 BC. 50 BC, 2050 years, 2070 years ago. Forge welding technique. Remember, iron produced from iron ores. Purification of the ores, converting to iron, and refining the iron, making it 99.73% pure iron. And its material is 1240 degree. And forge welding 1050 degree. And in which carving of Samudragupta is also there. The top of Delhi iron pillar, lotus and also beautification is there. And it is not rusting. Just think the technology of that Delhi iron pillar. Simply think the technology, closing your eyes. Nobody in the world could make a 7 ton weighing 21 feet iron by producing a heat of 1050 degree when there was no coke, no coal, no diesel, no electricity. 2050 years ago, coke was not there, coal was not there, electricity was not there, and remember, petrol and diesel was not there, were not there. They could make it. Dhar iron pillar. 3 pieces of Dhar iron pillar in Madhya Pradesh still remain intact, 1000-year-old, exposed to environment. When you watch that one, you just look into the YouTube or internet search you get. It looks as though it is made yesterday, as fresh as that 1000-year-old, 995 BC AD created. And the same 1000-year-old pillar is there in Mookambika temple. And just to see that. And when Porus gave the send-off to Alexander, 32-pound wood steel was taken by Alexander. 32-pound wood steel was taken by Alexander. And Alexander knew pretty well that the blacksmith from Benares, if they are given this wood steel, they will make Benares sword. Benares sword. And the proof and the quality of Benares sword used to be evaluated in a single tester. You just hang down the Benares muslin sari. Benares muslin sari, just hang down. And just to give a thrash of this Benares sword, that sari will become 2. And that's the sharpness of Benares sword. Alexander wanted to make that sword. He took the sword from it. He took the 32-pound iron, wood steel, and also 2 blacksmiths from Benares, and got the sword made in Damascus. Damascus. And he gave the name Damascus word. Damascus. Luckily, he did not come back. He got pneumonia or some other problem and he died there. And 22,000 chisels were taken from Benares in 2,000 camels to Egypt for carving the pyramid. When we say, you may be thinking it is a false claiming. So your duty to think it. These are solid proof available. That is where we have to understand all these things. Our metallurgical processes. And that's all. And the brass, the bronze, the Panchaloha Vigraha. Take for that matter all these iron and zinc, tin, Vanga, Samshodhana Upanishad. 16th century one Upanishad was written on tin, T-I-N. Upanishad on tin, metallurgical process. So beautiful. When I just explained it to repeat Abdul Kalam, whom I was fortunate enough to spend nearly 6 hours in Coimbatore, Sri Shankara Aikli. He said all these things, you make books, small books. Don't make big books. Big books people will not read. You make small books and distribute it to the school children and college students so that they will read it. They will feel they are proud of an Indian. And also he said, in Samveda, it is said that bone marrow transplantation is explained. He said when he happened to go to Germany, German scientists asked him whether Samaveda has got such an explanation of bone marrow transplantation. He asked me, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, personally asked me, that I said there is no possibility of that. Samaveda means 5,125 shlokas are taken from Rigveda, and in Yajurveda only 57 shlokas, 57 mantras are originally from Samaveda. All other things from other Vedas. May not be possible, anyway we will search about it. So remember that, our knowledge on that. And these iron metal in the purest form were used for making 108 shastras for the surgery. Shalya Chikitsa. All I have published in my book. Please don't think when I am telling that I have published means I'm claiming something. Nothing. Just informing you with all correctness. And all the shastras and yantras, together 108 used for surgical purposes by Shushruta Samhita, not Charaka Samhita. Shushruta Samhita means 600 BC. 600 BC were made with iron. And 95% of the shape and size of those equipments were copied to modern surgical instruments. Alloy may be different. Metal may be slightly different, but they made it with iron, rustless iron. And these people are also making it with steel, surgical steel. It exists in India. Remember that. This is our knowledge. And our ceramics and glass. If you get a time, I request, one thing you should fulfill. If you happen to go to Gujarat, 200 kilometers away from Ahmedabad, Lothal is there. 200 kilometers away from Ahmedabad, I happen to go there. Lothal, 1 square kilometer artificial harbor created during 3500 BC. BC 3500, before Lord Krishna. Bhagavad Gita was written during 3140 BC. 3140 BC, Bhagavad Gita Kurukshetra war was made. That is 38 years before Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga started during 3102, February 17th, Thursday, midnight 11:55. This is the Kali Yuga date, 3102 BC, February 17th, Thursday, midnight 11:55, where Sun, Moon, Mars, Earth, and Venus, Mercury, Saturn, all these came into the Jupiter, came in the Alpha Aries point. The yoga of Graha took place, so Yuga started, Kali Yuga started. 38 years after the Kurukshetra war, Pandavas ruled the country. After that, they went to Mahaprasthanikam, giving the responsibility to Parikshit Maharaja. So 38 years before Kali Yuga is 3140 BC. So Bhagavad Gita is 5162 years old, 61 years old or something, 60 years. So remember, this Lothan is again back far before Lord Krishna, 3500 BC. It's excavated and using bigger fuller counter, the date and other things got fully put. If you go there, you can see the artificial industrial estate, the storehouse, the harbor, the ship coming there from Arabian Sea. Nearly 16 kilometers artificial channel was created. Artificial channel was created. Artificial. Using bricks. The bricks remain intact. One lakh bricks were used for this one. Big bricks still remain intact. And our ceramics knowledge. Very many things could be excavated from there by the Indian team. They are remaining there. It may take, if you are taking a taxi from Ahmedabad, it may take one full day for going there, watching there and coming back. You can see. You may not be in a position to see Harappa or other thing. Harappa or Mohenjo-daro or Chinju-daro. Very difficult for you, but this it is not at all. This is in India, Gujarat, you can see that. So our ceramics. And just think about our technology, Kanchipuram sari. The first banning of the import of the sari took in Rome, 600 BC. They banned the sari from Kanchipuram. 600 BC, not AD. Why? 16 feet sari can be folded and put in a cigarette box or a match box. Such a thin sari could be made in Kanchipuram. The ladies, when they wear that one, everything can be seen from outside itself. That is the reason why it got banned in Rome. So our textile knowledge, not only Kanchipuram, but Benares and other places. And you see Padmanabha Swami temple, the Sangeeta Mandapam, the 1,000 pillar. One single stone utilized for making 1,000 pillars, where Saptaswaram you can listen carefully from all the 1,000 pillars. Those 1,000 pillars having nearly 4 inch or less than 4 inch diameter could be carved centuries ago during a period when there was no Fevicol or quick fix. No electricity to carve that. They have to carve with the hands. No machinery, no grinder, no blade can be used. So it's not available there. And the single stone mandapam in Padmanabha Swami temple, 10.25 feet long, 10.25 feet width, and 1.25 feet height. 970 ton weighing single stone mandapam, Ottakal mandapam. Ottakal means single stone mandapam. And remember that nearby Padmanabha Swami temple, no mine of granite was available. 16 kilometers away from Tirumala, these granite were brought. And a 97 ton weighing stone is put above the Gopuram in front of Padmanabha Swami temple. In front of Padmanabha Swami temple. And remember that. Like that, Kanchipuram temple is there, Chidambaram temple, Kumbakonam temple is there, Rameshwar temple is there, Suchindram temple is there. Nearly 10 temples are there like that, which could be carved with granite and super civil engineering structure during a period when there was no cement at all. Ancient Indian cement was utilized for making 1.25 kilometer production mandapam in Padmanabha Swami temple. And 23 feet wide, 1.25 kilometer production mandapam, not even a single drop of water will fall. Even during the torrential rain taking place in Trivandrum, nearly 3.5 months. That's the capacity. And the fort is built with 7 ton, 8 ton, 10 ton weighing granite. Just you happen to come here, see it. So for that matter, you take any subject you take, I'm sure that you will get the Indian knowledge. And almost it is becoming 1 o'clock, and the organizer is looking to me. And if you want to ask any question, I will now its time is over. I would like to say, in India, everything is available. Wrong. In India, nothing was available. Wrong. In India, something was available. Wrong. In India, many things were available. Unfortunately, the beloved children of India, we are ignorant about it. We are ignorant about our shipbuilding, our geological knowledge, our geographical knowledge, and plant-based knowledge, agricultural knowledge, and fertilizer-based knowledge. You take for that matter anything. And I'm not blindly telling that these things are my life. And fortunate enough to work 25 years with CSIR and also some of the universities in US and in Canada. I found a scientific observation of science and technology existed in India. My request to you, learn something and teach others. Whether people accept it, it's not our. First people will insult you, second people will oppose you, third people will accept you. This is what Swami Vivekananda said. First people will insult you, second people will oppose you, third people will accept you. This is what, when you are studying, and one thing is very sure, India is coming back. India is energetically coming back. Indian knowledge are being accepted, including Vedic knowledge. And I'm not going to that spiritual knowledge. I am the person who put nearly 15,000 lectures in YouTube, highest in the world. Every day, 5 to 10 posting I used to. My life is meant for learning, teaching, preaching, practicing, acting and reacting for and against Indian culture than those who are doing that. With these things, my prayer to all the organizers, Dirgha, Ayura Arogya, Aishwaryana, Abhivruddhirastu, Uttara Abhivruddhirastu, Idiyaham Prarthayami. Have a good day, have a good day. Think about yourself, think about your family, think about your culture, think about the society, and definitely think about India, the past of India, present of India, and future of India. With these words, I would like to repeatedly say thank you so much. Pranam.